Yeah, they disproportionately flow back into the Chinese banking system, so yes.
All right. So if we don't stop this, what's going to happen over the next 5 years? Are they going to? You think they'll just continue to get bigger and bigger?
Yeah, we've seen exponential scaling over the past couple of years. That will continue. Worse still will be the fact that the cost of capital in the Chinese ecosystem will decrease and funds will flow into criminal enterprises, but also into the other nefarious efforts that the Chinese Communist Party pursues, including modernizing its military, modernizing its ecosystem for abusing other human rights.
So it's a pretty good profit center for the Chinese.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kathy, how much do you think it is now? You think it's almost $200 billion?
Yes, that's based on the Federal Trade Commission's own analysis of underreporting.
So put that in perspective, we only have about a $28 trillion economy. So
I can tell you that if it was a Fortune company, it would be Fortune 17 in revenue.
Wow. So terrible.
yeah,
So terrible.
it's hard. It's hard to believe. So what do you think is the single biggest failure in our current federal response that allows foreign criminals to keep targeting American seniors?
Thank you, Senator, for asking that, and I would say there are so many. But I would start with, we need a national fraud strategy. We don't have that. We're seeing some good indications of having one, having some success in England and in Australia, and they look to the United States and say, okay, who's my counterpart? And we have nobody. We need essentially a fraud czar in the administration, coordinating efforts across the many agencies, but also coordinating with the private sector, law enforcement, using data-driven means of being able to understand how these crimes individually tie together to get that organized crime connection, to make the cases big enough to actually investigate, pursue, and prosecute.
So is there any federal agency that has a dedicated group of people doing this?
I believe there are, yes.
Okay. But they're not coordinated.
We could use some better coordination, yeah.
Okay. Ms. Kelvin, when you all track stolen funds from pig butchering and investment scams, where does the money typically flow, and how quickly does it move out of the reach of the individual and law enforcement?
Thank you for your question. The funds typically aggregate in consolidation wallets. So one victim in Iowa's funds are commingled with a victim in Florida, with a victim from Illinois. And we see these smaller payments aggregate in these larger consolidation clusters, which signal the centralized efforts of these scam conglomerates, and then they offboard into Chinese money laundering networks. We see Huiwan, which had special measures applied to it by the federal government, as well as other successors, guarantee services, mostly Chinese language money laundering services. But we do see a degree of centralized exchanges and DeFi services that do receive some of the funds. While these movements are pretty rapid, we do have opportunities at these consolidation wallets that hold funds for longer periods of time. One of the challenges is that communication between private sector and public sector, connecting that victim in Illinois to that victim in Florida to see the bigger picture. And the beauty of blockchain intelligence is that you're able to unravel that entire picture without filing a single subpoena. And working with private sector, law enforcement has had stunning successes in seizing funds. Just this year, $15 billion seized from the Prince Group. We've have examples of hundreds of millions seized with the help of cryptocurrency exchanges and stablecoin issuers. So there's a lot of potential, but timing is on the line. Timing is at the essence. And so that's why we advocate for also a preventive strategy, moving upstream so that scammers never interact with a human being.
So when they get the money back, where's the money go? How much of it gets back to a victim?
That's a long legal process. You have to establish that you were a victim. But thankfully, the blockchain has a very clear trail of where a victim withdrew their funds in order to deposit it into a scam. I think there could be more clarity around that process to streamline it so that victims can be made whole.
How central are overseas networks, particularly those linked to Communist China and Southeast Asia, to the cryptocurrency scams targeting American seniors?
Yeah, there are several data points from the cryptocurrency perspective pointing to China and Southeast Asia. The off-ramps where these stolen funds are going are primarily offshore APAC-based services, Chinese money laundering networks where they have mules, guarantee services. We're also seeing them reinvest their scam profits into additional AI tools, additional SMS
It's a good
spamming
business
tools.
model.
Absolutely. It is a corporation. It is a well-oiled machine. And we also see dips in cryptocurrency scam activity during Chinese public holidays and Chinese New Year's, very much in line with China-based actors.
When people are working.
Absolutely.
Okay. Ranking Member Gillibrand.